Hello everyone. I wanted to make this tape just to talk a little bit about um, what was on the news last week about the woman feeding her kid hot sauce. I have a little story I could tell about that. A few years back, I was sitting down in the hospital cafeteria, and I was eating my lunch, and this anesthesiologist came down and sat down next to me, and he had a plate of, I think it was eggs and bacon and breakfast stuff. And he had a bottle of something with him. I looked at it and I saw, didn't you know, it was a whole big bottle of hot sauce. And I looked at him and I said, "What are you going to do with that?" And he says, "I like hot sauce." So, anyways, I sat there and I watched him, and he dumped this whole bottle of, like about half of the bottle, not the whole bottle, but probably had covered the whole plate with hot sauce, and started to eat it. And I thought, what the heck is wrong with this guy? And boy, in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes, he had gobbled up that whole plate of eggs, bacon, and half a bottle of hot sauce with it. The whole thing made me sick, to tell you the truth. Um, so I said to the guy, I said, like, are you some kind of like a self-abuser, or what's wrong with you? Why would you sit there and eat a whole, like a half bottle of hot sauce? That stuff, like really hot, it can harm you. He said, well, he said, I like it. I'm from Texas. I like hot sauce. I said, well, don't you know that can be like really harmful to your emotional health? Haven't you read the studies by psychiatrists that say, um, if you eat hot sauce, it can make you, um, uh, like hate yourself and emotionally unstable and depressed and things like that if you eat too much hot sauce. Um, and he said, I don't believe in that crap. So, well, I knew right away what I was dealing with. I remembered what I'd heard. I saw this guy do once. He was like a real self-abuser. He once took an endotracheal tube, a tube that we use for intubating people, um, and he did an awake intubation on himself. He took this big old tube and he stuck it up right through his nose and down the back of his oropharynx and into his trachea while he was awake, and did it by himself. Did this just for fun. He thought it was funny. So I knew the guy was a little crazy because of that. So, anyways, I said to the guy, I says, "You're not a child abuser, are you? People that do this kind of stuff are kind of, like eat hot sauce can also known be child abusers, and your parents probably abused you." He says, "Man, why don't you just mind your own business?" So, you always get this kind of talk from these people. So I called the police and um, reported him. Of course, they didn't want to do anything about it, and I then I called the mental health experts, the child abuse people. I said, "There's this guy that might be a child abuser. You might want to check on him." But they said, "Well, they hadn't had any other reports on him, so they weren't going to do anything." So I thought, well, fine. So, anyways, so now we hear about this lady, forcing her child to eat hot sauce, and this is what happens when you ignore this stuff. You see it going on in your community, you ignore it, and you don't do anything about it. And then all of a sudden you start hearing more stories of people abusing their children like this. Um, and so I think we should just keep this in mind, that we shouldn't just be minding our own business. We shouldn't just be, going about our daily life and ignoring these people that are taking hot sauce every day. That we actually should become more active about it. See these people get either the mental help that they need, or that they get arrested if they're abusing their children. I just want to bring this message to you as a public service. Thank you.